This was one of the finer paintings that I used to do. This was done in 1968. This is an oil painting done in 3 layers, very academic. I made some of the paints. The red is actually day glow paint that I had made, and the white reflections are actually pearlescent paint that I made into oil paints so that the reflections would be hotter than white. So these things are pretty stunning in person. Here's another sizable academic painting that took an enormous amount of time. This was painted on a revolving easel, so the horizon would always be parallel. Okay? But, I mean, I could sell these paintings, and I could sell them for a lot of money, but during this period of time, I had no peer groups. Like, everyone I knew was an abstract expressionist had just considered this just eyewash. Okay, I got a job with Ed Big Daddy Roth, and he's holding in his hands a cyclops skull that I made in 1961. That cyclops skull is made out of cardboard and fiberglass. It was stolen from Roth, and it ended up in a Hell's Angel After Hours club with it painted day glow, and then it mysteriously got returned to Ed Roth Studios after about 2 years. And then it went to a public attraction called Movie World Cars of the Stars, where it was damaged, and I just ended up with a couple of teeth and an eye socket. Now, if you look at that skull closely, you've seen it before, and you've seen it on a Grateful Dead album cover. Because Kelly and Mouse took this image and put it on a Grateful Dead album cover in the 70s. Okay. As Phil made mention earlier, there's a hot rod situation here. Now, hot rods in fine art are difficult, very difficult bedfellows. And I think, Leonardo da Vinci said an artist should be mechanical and should understand science and understand architecture and whatnot. Well, that philosophy is kind of fallen by the road. A lot of artists take a great deal of pride in that they don't have dexterity and that menial work is below their brilliant dignity. Now, I was teaching an art class at Otis Art Institute, and this gal was trying to draw a building, and she couldn't get it wrong, and she was tearing her hair out. It was one of my students. And she says, well, I'm just not mechanical. And I says, well, you go up to the door. One side's got hinges, the other side's got a doorknob. Do you think you can get to the door? And she says, well, yeah. I says, you're mechanical. Both of these are 1932 Fords. The one on the left is my 32 Ford Roadster that I put together out of junk pieces. I bought it for $200 in 1968. The one on the right is a 32 Ford 3-1 coupe that looks like it's got about 3 inches cut out of the top and no fenders. Now, the car on the Roadster on the left started a trend. Some people would question this, but Hot Rod Magazine verified the fact that this was the car, this was the Roadster that started the rat rod movement. It's so popular today with hot rods. The junky look. Now, that's a conceptual situation, you know. It's that car is made to look like a heap. Now, that trend has caught on, and it's not only big in the United States, it's enormous in Japan, and it's big in Europe, that rat rod look. But, I got to be an older person, and, I wanted to paint the car. So I painted the car purple and chartreuse. So I painted a number on the side, see? So I got more flack for it with this race car paint job than it was in primer. You can see my Deuce coupe up there painted jet black. Now, you hear the term hot rod, and the first thing that you come to mind, you think, hot rod, well, those are the things that eat Priuses. Well, that's like comparing tigers to poodles. I mean, there isn't enough hot rods, there's going to be any trouble. We've run out of old cars. You never see hot rods. They're never going to be a problem. And the thing about a hot rod is they're extremely mechanically efficient. Their power to weight ratio is 2 or 3 times that of just an average automobile. So hot rods aren't really going to be a problem with you. They're too expensive. You can't find them. Only older, wealthy gentlemen have them. So, you know, if it's a matter of being politically correct, I wouldn't worry about hot rods. This is a painting I did in 1976, kind of over-embellishing the adventure of the hot rod world here. You know, we got an illegal drag race on a desert highway, and there's an accident today. Now, this picture was done in 1976, and the rendition of the car on the left is one of the images that helped bring about the rat rod look of driving junk. Okay, this is a picture. This is 12 by 12 that I did at LACE in Los Angeles. LACE is an art consortium. This was done in the early 80s. And the name of the show was a floor show. So this was a big mural that was painted on the wall.